Alright. I'm out shut for too long today. I don't even know what I'm going to call this video. I have no idea for a title for this video, but I need to talk about the situation because I think Tony Khan has lost his damn mind, okay? And I'm not an AEW hater, okay? Not overly. Like, I'm not one of those that say, oh, you have to like one over the other. Like, oh, I'm all WWE and never AEW. I used to watch AEW. Big L T and I used to watch AEW every Wednesdays. And then, you know, the whole thing happened. It all in. And Punk walked off and he was gone for months. And he came back. And then stuff happened All Out. And he was fired from the company. This All In thing, it just... I think he was also sort of injured under that was All Out. I don't know. But... So... The footage was released from All Out. It was All Out or All In? One of the two. This came out months ago. It came out. Should be done and over with. But Tony Khan can't stop poking the bear. Because I've had my problems with Tony Khan's booking, even though I don't watch the show. It just seems like he doesn't know what to do. Like, he doesn't know what to do with the talent that he has. Largely because he has no idea how to run a wrestling company. No idea. He just bought this company. He just, he's basically bankrolling Kenny Omega and the Bucks at this point, is what it is. And he's being asked to book stuff. Now, I have no love for the Bucks at this point because they're one of the biggest trash talkers for CM Punk. And the whole thing, everything that came out of this whole situation is that everyone involved with the situation was blaming CM Punk. It's all CM Punk's fault. He's a cancer. He's a curse. He's, all this stuff. And he needs to go away. He needs to die. And all that stuff. And that's just not true. Like, it was like they're blaming Punk. Punk was their patsy for all this. Shit went down. Punk got the shaft. There was something that happened at All In, and that went horribly wrong. And then, or was it All Out? And then All In made it worse. And really, Punk was made a patsy, booted out the door for a situation that wasn't even his fault. So here's the situation as it stands. So CM Punk had an interview about a couple weeks to a month ago. I don't remember what the podcast was, but he went on there, he did an interview. And he laid out exactly what happened at that show. So in response to that, AEW had the Young Bucks go out and announce that this week. So last week they said that this week they were going to air the footage from All Out. Or All In. Whatever one it was. From the show. And I said, oh, you know what show it is, but you're talking about it. Because I need to talk about it. So, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, obviously they're going to doctor it or they're going to do something stupid. You remember back in the 90s? How WWE, they did the whole thing with Billionaire Ted and the Huckster and the Nacho Man. Something to that effect. They were going to do that. Some kind of parody of it. Like one Buck was going to be dressed as CM Punk, the other one was going to be Jack Perry, and they're going to stage it to make it look like it was all Punk's fault. But no, they just aired the footage, which is the biggest shot in the foot to AEW that has ever been dealt in, because this is exactly what CM Punk said happened. However, there is no audio. Why? Because if they played the audio, it would absolutely vindicate CM Punk. Because there's no people out there who watch this footage and say, well, Punk attacked him. He's the instigator. He did it. But if you watch the goddamn footage, clearly it is something that Jack Perry says to Punk that causes him to fly off the handle, punch him, put him in the chokehold, and then they break him up. And for all Tony Khan's claims of fearing for his life, all Punk does is point at him and go, "This is a shit show. This is a fucking shit show, and I quit." And what is Tony Khan? Doing the whole situation. He doesn't do anything. Fearing for his life? I don't understand this. It just doesn't make any sense to me why he would do this. People are saying this screams of WCW 2000, and yeah, what is this for? So that the Bucks, this be part of the Bucks feud with FTR, who are friends with Punk. This doesn't fit anywhere in that, right? Like I said, there's no audio. Clearly, what happens in this footage is that, so if you don't know the situation, is that Jack Perry, the former Jungle Boy, the son of the late Luke Perry, who should be rolling in his grave right now for what they're doing to his son. And it's not entirely Perry's fault, but it's kind of both. Anyway, no disrespect, obviously. But Jack Perry was doing a spot at the pay-per-view, and he was going to use real glass. Punk basically said to him, "That's fucking stupid, don't do it, it's dangerous." And then Perry flew off the handle, said something that clearly set Punk off, which caused Punk to punch him in the face, put him in the headlock. So clearly, Punk is, telling him, "You're fucking stupid, don't use real glass, that's dangerous," trying to protect the fucking guy. And then Perry's just like, "No, fuck you, I'll do what I want." And so it said something to set Punk off, Whatever it was, we don't know because they refused to play the audio. You just see it. Because, like I said, if they play the audio, obviously it would probably vindicate Punk and say he was absolutely right. But no, they want to try to... Apparently it came out they're trying to embarrass CM Punk, which is a guy who's not in their goddamn company anymore, yet they're still on about this. This is done. And apparently this was all Tony Khan's doing, too. Like, there's saying that the Bucks did not want to do this, which I'm at coin flip on whether that's true or not. But, grain of salt, sure. Tony Khan's idea. Also, later on in the night, Will Ospreay comes out and cuts a promo on Triple H. Triple H at a press conference said something, didn't say a name, he just said that he had a talent who chose the other company because he wanted a more laid-back schedule, which is what Ospreay did, and said he couldn't do the grind. So, again, Tony Khan had Ospreay go out and blast Triple H, even saying the lines of something like, the only reason he's in the position he's in is because he's basically, he's grinding the boss's daughter, which he's the boss now, so, but still, you don't go on TV and say that. This is turning into the WCW 2000 Swerve Workshop, brother, situation of the Vince Russo era, and it's not. You know how that worked out for them, right? No. Let me check reference it quick. Yeah, hold on, I'll be right back. I'm back. So, yeah, that's the whole situation. It's just, they're trying to gauge viewership off of something. So Tony, basically what I think happened was, Tony heard about this interview and decided, okay, fine, we'll show the footage. Even though it proves Punk is right, we'll show the footage. We won't have the audio, because of course, we won't. If there was even audio, maybe there's not audio to begin with, but, our witnesses, Tony himself was there, and has declined to comment on the situation this entire time until now this interview came out, and he says, okay, we're going to do it. Why? To induce ratings. And I'm pretty sure that whoever tuned in to watch this tuned out as soon as this was done. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure there was a sturdy drop in the ratings after this segment aired. Which, if that's the case, y'all should have put this in the main event segment. Because if you, again, Tony Tony Khan doesn't know how to book. You should have set this up and put this in the main event segment instead of Samoa Joe versus Dustin Rhodes. That way, they would have watched the entire show. I'm just saying, because now you got that in the middle of the show at 8 o'clock, they play it, and then drop off because play at the top of the hour, I guess. I don't know. Excuse me. But yeah, I don't know. Like, WWE has made subtle jabs to AEW before, but it's been very much, said that they're not competitors. They're not trying to have a rival, They're just, it's another wrestling company. But Tony Khan doesn't get that, apparently. He's just wants to undermine everything. He wants to go out there. He wants to shoot on the company. Why? Because Punk did an interview. Now here's the situation, though. Why release the footage? Why do that? Because if you are refusing to say anything, and at this point, I believe the reason why he refused to say anything is because Punk was in the right. Punk was right here. The whole situation was not Punk's fault, but they were blaming Punk. So if he said something and had to tell the truth, it would totally eliminate whatever they were trying to do. To blame Punk, to make him the scapegoat. That's what it is, scapegoat, not Patsy. Make him the scapegoat for this whole situation. People have tempers. It happens. But he was made the scapegoat. Because he will have to handle, because one other employee was very dangerous with what he was doing. And Punk tried to correct him, tried to help him out, and the guy went in the wrong direction with the whole situation. And instead of saying, you know what, you understand, I should respect you because you're a veteran. No, he took it as hostility, and it all went downhill. And Jack Perry is still not showing up in AEW. He's in New Japan now. I think he's undernamed the Scapegoat, which doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, I don't know. But, yeah, Punk was the scapegoat in the situation. And it's just, he refused to comment because he knew that Punk would be seen as he's right. Which he was. And I'm not saying it because I'm a Punk fan. I'm maybe a little biased, but I saw the footage. I've seen the footage. And clearly, it's everything that CM Punk described. He went off on Jack Perry for using real glass. Jack Perry clearly said something that ticked him off. He punched him. He put him in a headlock. And then he was broken up by the other people there. That's all that happened. And if you're going to do that, if you're going to air this footage, I'm not saying it would have been a good idea, but why just air the footage as is? Why not doctor it, do something with it? Why? This is not going to help your situation at all. It's not making anything better for you. If anything, and it's proved that, in the main event, people were chanting CM Punk, CM Punk. Even during the spot, during this spot, when they're showing the footage, people were chanting for CM Punk because they realized, oh, CM Punk was telling the truth, and Tony Khan is full of shit because he is. And yeah, with all this, well, that's what it was. It was a media scrum that set off things, and there was backstage fights with the Bucks and Kenny, and yeah, sure, he had words to say, but that's one thing. But it's because of those words and what he said that now this incident, they completely blamed it on Punk, and he was gone. That's what it was. Remember now. So those of you that put in the comments, well, actually, I know. Okay? So, but yeah, just to close this off, I don't know anymore. I stopped watching AEW when Punk left for obvious reasons. It wasn't worth it anymore. I, like many others, were like, They just lost their biggest draw. He was their biggest moneymaker. They created an entire new fucking show for him, and they let him go. Why? Because of a little altercation in the back? And then they blame this whole situation on him when his video footage clearly shows it's not his fault. And now he's in WWE. He's signed to a new contract, and what are you going to do? Or was this an attempt to mend fences with Punk? Say, okay, we aired the footage, shows you're in the right. Didn't work because Punk just posted something on social media, a George W. Bush thing with a banner above him saying, mission accomplished. So, yeah, whatever it was you were trying to do, Tony, it didn't work. I don't know. It was probably just for ratings, but again, that probably plummeted after it was done. So, yeah. So what are your thoughts on this? And we'll comment so much, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Scott, and I'll see you in the next one.